If you could give one piece of advice to anyone younger than you or your age, what would you say?
You gotta be selfish. As much as selflessness is required to be a good person, you really gotta be selfish. You can't care about anybody else. And then once you start caring about you, then you can care about other people. So I say stay selfish.
Welcome to Fugitive TV, and I'm your host, Ray Marcel. I've already given you a lot of videos on the whole David and Celeste situation, but today what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine everything, and I'm going to give you a deeper timeline, and not only a deeper timeline, I'm also going to tell you the history of David and the history of Celeste, all the way up until everything went wrong. Fugitive TV. David Anthony Burke was born in Queens, New York. He grew up listening to gospel from his parents, but the song that got him into his own genre of music was Gucci Gang by Lil Pump. And after that, he started listening to a lot of Triple X, XXXTentacion. Once his parents found out, they decided to shelter him and moved to Texas and homeschooled him. He had no more friends, no outside contacts. His parents pretty much wanted to keep him away from that stuff because they were, of Christian faith. So in order to meet friends, he started playing video games. From there, he found anime. Now, he changed the spelling of his name to D4vd.
Face text for. I just played. It's actually my first compilation, so it's gonna be kind of dumb. But I just put in some clips of me smacking up some kids. I was gonna put a commentary. I hope y'all enjoy.
The 4 stood for 4 different universes that he created in his mind. And each universe had his own multi-universe. Then he also created an alter ego named Atami, which means fame in Japanese. Now, the game he was fond of playing mostly was Fortnite. He was playing Fortnite so much, he was actually one of the first people ever to start playing Fortnite.
17, I was one of the first people to ever play the game. My goal on Fortnite.
First person? How?
I had like this small group of friends that would literally spend 8 hours a day looking for the newest games that were released on PlayStation. Okay. And I was playing Fortnite Season 1, like had all the passes, everything.
Okay.
He was one of the very first people to start playing Fortnite in 2017. While he was playing, he started taking clips of his games and adding music in the background, like how we do on TikTok right now. And then he was uploading them to YouTube. He was getting a lot of views. Now, the reason why he did this is because he was uploading clips of playing games, but he wasn't getting no views. So he took the music, started uploading these clips, and now he's getting a lot of views. At this time, YouTube did not have the copyright laws like they have right now. So David was making money off these clips of posting other people's music in the background. But then YouTube cracked down on that and they started copyrighting videos. David no longer was making money. So David, upset, went to his mother and complained and told her about it. And his mom said, why don't you start making your own music and then put your music into the clips? So then David thought that was a great idea. So he went on his phone, found an app called BandLab, and then went and took over his sister's closet because his sister had the walk-in closet. It was bigger. So he went and took over his sister's closet and started recording his voice, started making melodies and started making songs just off his phone.
Baby. Underground artists started paying them to use songs. So nobody paid me because nobody watched my videos.
Now, at this time, David's music was not deep how it is now. He didn't have any sort of social or any sort of friends or anything like that experiences to write about. Remember, he's been homeschooled for about 4 to 5 years. Now, what David would do is he would start going to his games, playing Fortnite. And as he's playing Fortnite, other adults or people older than him will start ranting about their relationships, about their issues with their significant other, whether it be a man or a woman. David didn't go through any of these things. So what he did was he listened closely to what they were saying. So he took what they were saying and started putting it into his music. And that was kind of how his music evolved. Now, at the same time, in Riverside, California, this is where Celeste Rivas was living. She was in Riverside County, California, in a town called Lake Elsinore. Now, she was born to Mercedes Martinez, who was her mother, and Jesus Rivas. She was also into playing games. She was playing Fortnite. Fortnite was one of her favorite games. And she played Fortnite because it was a way to escape her troubled home. There's also a recording of Celeste's ex-boyfriend's mother explaining that how she would go over to their house, or she would talk to her boyfriend at that time and she would have bruises on her.
Like my son would come home and tell me, Celeste would tell him that there was issues at home, and him and other friends would see, marks like bruises on her, and she would say it was from her mom.
Now, Celeste did attend Lakeland Village School, which was an elementary school, and then she went on to Lakeland Village Middle School, which she was not there long because we all know that was a school she ended up running away from. Now, at around 2020, this is when David started getting a little bigger and he was making a little bit of traction. He actually joined a team called Chronic Online. Chronic Online was a gang of members who was playing Fortnite and playing other games, and he joined that team.
Thanks, Rook. I'm standing outside of Chronic's headquarters where people have already started to line up.
Around 2021 is when David met Celeste online playing Fortnite. She was around 10 years old. This is just before she turned 11 years old. So they formed a relationship when she was 10 on Fortnite. Now David asked her to join his Discord. This is when he opened up his Discord. Now a Discord is similar to like WhatsApp or Kick, or if you have an iPhone to where you have a group chat and everybody can talk about what they want to talk about. This is what a Discord is. So he invited her to his Discord account, even though she wasn't even 11 years old yet. Now, one user even posted this. Yo, I'm watching a live right now, but I just want to say this because me and my friend are trying to recall everything. We were all in a Fortnite team called Chronic, which where I met him. He met her in like 2021 through Fortnite, I'm pretty sure. And then he made her get Discord. Everyone in the team knew about her and he would joke about it and brush it off every time it got mentioned. That's all I personally know, but my friend Pistol knows more because they always talked. She would literally say he effed her, but then followed up with a joke. So I don't know if she was being for real or not. He was also just a weirdo, to be honest. He used to send gore pics, but I'm not surprised. Now, little do we know, this was also the start of a tragic ending for Celeste. Don't we all wish we could have warned her? Now, at this time, after she joined the Discord, all of David's friends would make fun of him for talking to this 10-year-old who was turning 11. At first, there was no line about her age. It was slipped up. Now, in 2021, Celeste and David are still talking. This is when things started to make a turn, though. He would post a TikTok post about a Hello Kitty girl. This was Celeste, her favorite character in the whole wide world. He adopted this character and also made it his own. This is when you started seeing him wearing Hello Kitty hoodies. You also see a picture of him having a Hello Kitty coffee mug. So her favorite character became his obsession. This is also when he started getting deeper with his lyrics on love and pain. He started writing a lot about love and pain at this time and about getting and digging into, or I should say scratching that surface of terminating somebody on the same time. Now, he actually started watching gore when he was 14 years old. Violent videos. He was watching cartel members take other members' heads off. And he used to talk about this in Discord, right? Now, there was even a time when he even told somebody on his Discord that gore videos were better than adult videos. Now, I don't know if I agree with him on that one. Now, in some of his music that he started writing, especially one song in particular, it was writing about terminating a woman. But he also tried to tell people that it was just in the back of his mind, that it was not real. So in his song, he was writing about terminating a woman, but terminating her in the back of his mind.
The storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, in the back of my mind, she died.
And then after he would terminate her, his alter ego that he created would go and solve the crime. Now, people started comparing this to YNW Melly. For you people that don't know who YNW Melly is a rapper who is fighting a case to this day about unaliving his own friends. He has a song called Unaliving on My Mind. And in that song, he's pretty much talking about unaliving his own friends. And that's what he's in. And then he got arrested later on for unaliving his own friends. And I believe one of them, maybe two of them, were in the trunk of his car and he was driving around with them. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Write that in the comments below. but he's still going to court over this. So people are comparing that song to YMW Melly and also comparing the situation of David to YMW Melly's situation. Now, at this time, this is when David also started getting very popular. This is when he signed a multi-million-dollar record deal. Now, him and Celeste kept talking. They would talk on Discord, and they would play Fortnite together. They grew a lot closer. When David signed a record deal, he moved out to LA. His manager, Josh Marshall, moved him out there, and then Josh Marshall rented him a house in Hollywood Hills, which was only a little over 70 miles away from Celeste's home. Now, before he moved out there, David went on his Discord and told everybody on Discord, hey, I am moving out to Los Angeles. I need somebody to find me a girlfriend. At this time, this is when Celeste responded saying, he's mine. Now, people already were figuring out the relationship between David and Celeste and how much they talked, because this is when people start making even more fun of him. And not just that, but talking about how underage she was. Now, people start finding out. This is when the rumors started. He was also adding other underage girls. A Discord member made a comment saying all these girls that are being added are underage. One person exposed the text between between David and a 16-year-old girl he was also dating. He said they had to break up because they would have to keep the relationship secret. He was talking to her since she was only 14. Now, fast forward to 2024. This is when Celeste started running away from home. If you ask her parents, they would publicly say they don't know where she was at. But deep down inside, everybody knew where she was at and where she was running away to, because this is the same time when David first moved to his home in Hollywood Hills. Now, at this time, the info spread that she was going back and forth to David's house. Even her brother would claim that David would pick her up in a Tesla. At this time, everyone knew it. It was an open secret. It was no longer a secret. Her mother knew she was with a man named David. Even her own teacher knew. The whole school knew that she was with a man named David. They thought it was a rapper named David. Now, 2024, disappearance and police visits. February 15, 2024, Celeste 13 was reported missing by her family to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. She had left a note and was seen leaving the house around 2 a.m. Deputies visited the home later that day for a follow-up report. March 26, 2024, deputies returned for a follow-up visit after another missing persons report. So the first time she went missing, February 15th, is on paper, but she actually left the house February 14th. That was Valentine's Day. And that's also the time when David first moved to Hollywood Hills and they signed a lease on that home. Now, she left for that month and then came back. Now, when she came back, she started bragging to her friends. And from doing that, word spread around her school, and then her teachers even found out. Now, from there, something happened at home, and she ended up leaving again April 5th, 2024. That was the last time, if you ask people around her neighborhood, that she was missing. Now, in between March 26th and April 5th, that's when David was spotted a few blocks away from Celeste's house, paying kids off with a picture. At that time, nobody knew what was going on. They just knew David was in a neighborhood, but nobody knew anything. Now, we all know how a lot of us became to even know who David was because Celeste's remains was found in the front of his Tesla. After Celeste's remains was found, this is when David was exposed for paying children off to keep his secret. The kids blackmailed him. This evidence from the picture of him around the corner from Celeste's home, paying off children. Celeste would be seen at multiple parties with David and her siblings. Celeste had a fake ID, so she was able to get into these adult venues. David's friends would later come out and say that they thought she was 19, a college student going to USC, because she was in these venues and had a fake ID. People from Discord chat started exposing the truth. At this time, people started connecting the dots with David's songs, even noticing that he would mention Celeste's name in one song. He was taking a lot of pics with a girl who looked like Celeste, but her face was always covered by a handbag. There was always something in the way of her face. One of the Discord members that exposed him showed a picture of a photo with a girl and a ring on her finger with a red tattoo on the same finger that said David. Now, this original picture was posted by Celeste. Now, at this time, David released a song and a video called There Goes My Baby. In the video, it shows the back of a girl in a swing with the same hair as Celeste. Now, while all this was going on, there was a Discord user by the name of Ponzello. This Discord user kept trying to expose David from the start. Some sort of way he found out David's little secret and was trying to expose him. David was talking in the Discord one time, and then Ponzello even replied, "I'm trying to figure out where your underage girlfriend is at." Some sort of way he found out. Even after she went missing, he asked if it was Celeste, the same one. Now, at this time, a user named Ponzello kept trying to expose David. He would pop up in David's Discord and ask these questions. Like one question he asked, "Where's your underage girlfriend at?" After Celeste even went missing, a person posted, "Hey, Celeste is missing," with a picture of Celeste. And then Ponzello even replied back with, "Oh, she's with David. He's a PDF file." Now, Ponzello said a lot of things in the Discord even before this, trying to expose David. Now, after a while, after he said that he was a PDF file, for some reason he vanished and you never heard from him again. But he popped up recently. So stay tuned and you're going to see what he also had to say after he came back. This is part 1. Please like and subscribe, because part 2 is when we start digging into the deeper timeline of the evidence so we can put it all together. This is Fugitive TV. If I missed anything, please comment below. I'm out.